Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH. Plus, I got a long day of Isaac recording, and I got a smile on my face. I'm excited. Although I don't know what our HP is like. NV4Y, 4EK6. Stats are great. Oh, we have Spewer, which is why every time we take a pill, we're gonna get a different kind of creep coming out of him there. A different kind of weirdo. As long as our HP is good, there's no reason this run can't be a W. Why do I have a big smile on my face? Well, I'm not sure if I would say that this is a reason. This is a little dangerous, but it's a lot of fun. Well, there's nothing about it except for the fact that, you know, we got 8 wins in Isaac. I got the privilege of having a nice block of time today. And if everything goes right, we could get to 10. That's all it takes. You know what? If it doesn't go right and we end up getting a loss, life goes on. I'm in a great mood. The weather's getting better. It's sunny outside. We're out of the winter doldrums to some extent. I made it to the gym this morning before the dude who grunts extremely loudly despite not lifting that much weight. I'm not trying to police or make fun of him, but it's also disruptive to the environment that, you know, he'll curl 10 pounds and very audibly go like, like, it's okay. If I'm being, you know, as nice as possible, maybe it's involuntary. It's an incredible physical stress, and he has to make that noise, but, you know, there is the little part of my brain that's like, he's doing that to be like, check out how strong I am. I don't know, dude. Anyway, I'm not trying to hate on this dude. It's a beautiful day. I'm just saying, you got reasons to smile today. We were in a slump. That slump is now, I mean, after 8 wins in a row, you gotta say it's over. You know, I would not risk getting rid of Acid Baby. We got a weird... I wouldn't even call it a synergy, because I don't know if I would say that it's necessarily good that every time we take a pill, we're gonna change our creep. Or change our widow. Trying to put on a different voice every single time. And it always just ends up being Tom York, but with a little bit of Britney Spears thrown in. I'm a widow. I guess that's my that's the best I can do. You know, people have told me, and you know, you never know you have a decent impression until you try it, and the more I set it up and think about it, the worse it gets. But I kind of have been working on this decent, off-the-cuff Jim Morrison. The problem is, it requires way too much brain power because I have to think of the freaking lyrics to a Doors song, and I know none before I do it. We were on the NLSS yesterday. We were doing those Heinz ketchup song advertisements. You know I like to drink the Heinz. It's even that was not my best. You can go back and look at the Jim Morrison compilation that doesn't exist yet if you want to see it for yourself. I'm just saying sometimes it works, dude. It might not seem like it right now, but sometimes it works. Sometimes I hide. Anyway, it's a good day. It's a Friday. You know it can't be an Isaac episode properly until I tell you what day of the week it is. Like a Stone Temple Pilots song most people have forgotten about because it's from a period of their career where they weren't necessarily making fantastic stuff. But, you know, I got a soft spot for that. Sour Girl still gets a little bit of radio play. Days of the Week doesn't, but for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's one of the songs of my adolescence where things are a little bit more formative. But, you know, when I hear, like, Monday, I'm back from the dead. I let God decide on that one. And he decided we're not taking Mom's knife. That's fine. What's going on this weekend? Dude, I don't know. That's a great question. So I don't know if the video's gone up on Kate's channel. I'm not trying to blow up her spot, but a viewer and classmate of mine got us gift certificates as a thank you that was entirely unnecessary, but welcomed all the same. They got us gift certificates to this, like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a martial arts school, but instead of martial arts, they teach you, they teach classes about, like, weaponry. So you could go and, I'm sure they do fencing, but then on top of that, you know, there's, you know, axe combat and stuff like that. They got us, like, a beginner package that we can do, like, a 90-minute lesson or something like that. Probably not gonna do it this weekend, but, at some point, let's try this. I don't dispute it. At some point, I definitely want to check it out. It's one of those things, you know, I've talked a little bit about how I'm like a low-key guy. I don't, you know, skydiving, bungee jumping, driving a fast sports car doesn't really interest me all that much, to be honest with you. This is more the kind of thing that I'm kind of down with. Is like, hey, somebody got us a free opportunity to check out a new experience that, I mean, I don't really see myself as being the sort of guy who's really gonna be into, you know, like, medieval combat sports, but why not give it a shot, dude? It's a no-risk opportunity. Let's check it out. Alright, what's the worst that could happen? I guess we could accidentally hurt each other. So what? One of these is diplopia. You know what? Let it ride. Crooked penny, again, of course. Another more options. Okay, so diplopia... I don't know what happened here. My brain's kind of been scrambled. You gotta give me a second. Alright, let's try to... that's the wrong one. Psych. There we go. We've simplified this shop for ourselves. I mean, still a great setup, don't get me wrong. Why not give it a shot, you know? Probably not this weekend, though. I'll do that in the future. Not to mention, it snuck up on me. The first, like, few months of the year, I don't really do a whole heck of a lot. You know, there's a... we did a... It's not like I live a particularly boring life. You know, it was only a couple of months ago we were talking about the World Juniors. That's enough excitement to keep me, you know, pretty much full up on adrenaline for the next 10 years or so. I'm still the kind of guy where, like, if I go to a Canucks hockey game, I'm like, wow, a big stadium. I can't believe, you know, we're so lucky to live in a place. You get the idea, but... Wow, look at that height of that building. It's not like a skyscraper or anything, but it is like a little tall. Alright, I just wanted to see what the pill was before we used it in a live combat environment. But you know, it's through the back half of the year, tend to do a little bit more exciting stuff, like Josh's wedding is coming up, dude. It always, well, I don't know, dude, you know who Josh is, right? If you watch, I just assume you're up on the NLSS cinematic universe. Josh, longtime friend of mine, getting married. He lives in the United States. We're going to the wedding. We'll eat some Primanti Bros or something while we're there, and then we'll head back. But really snuck up on me. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, you know, it's in April. That's forever away. It's only halfway through March. And then you realize, you know, April includes the dates April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, etc., etc. So, actually, it's pretty soon. I mean, that's about it. I don't have anything really more to say on that. Can I just say, while on the subject of travel, I'm so happy that I don't go to conventions very often anymore. I think that phase of my life is done. And this is not a subtweet at Mathis. Sort of. A little bit. But like, could have tried to double it. But for what? To what ends, dude? I'm happy with, you know, at a convention, I'm always happy to be there. Happy to spend time. You know, it's an opportunity to see people in the industry that I don't get an opportunity to see, except maybe once a year, or maybe even once every few years, especially now that apparently Champions of Fire, I don't know, it beats me, brother, what's happening with that property. It's like the Incredible Hulk. Like a calendar year goes by, you don't see a Champions of Fire event in the United States of America. You go, maybe they're just gearing up for a big one. But, you know, it's nice to be there, but, man, I was thinking about it because the last time I went to PAX East, it coincides with the anniversary of another very recent event, which is Daylight Savings Time. Last time I went to PAX East, it was in Boston in March. It was extremely cold, and I know I live in by winter's standpoint, kind of an idyllic winter city where things don't get that bad. So yes, I'm a little biased, but I also grew up in blizzard country, and this was a freaking blizzard country, okay? On top of that, you know, you're out late. Nobody's fault but my own. Can't disagree. And then, you know, it's 2 a.m. Just kidding. All of a sudden, it's 3 a.m. You wake up the next day and you're like, I hate my life. Okay, I don't even know why I did that, but you know what? Let's do it again. That's fair. Just unclutter the screen. Now, I'm sure you could go to conventions and have a much more pleasant experience. I mean, I'm literally spotlighting one of the lesser convention experiences of my life, but I'm learning to take a lot of pleasure in sitting at home. I see everybody tweeting about PAX East. What's the party? Who's partying at PAX East? What games are going to be there? I love video games, and that has come under suspicion sometimes. Does NL even like games? I love video games. You know how much... I was about to swear. You know how much Tetris 99 I've been playing? I've been playing a staggering amount of Tetris 99. I have like 40... I think I might even have crossed 50 hours in that game. It came out like 3 weeks ago, okay? And I've been playing so much other stuff on the old YouTube channel. You know, it's a renaissance for variety. I'm loving it. By all measures, most people seem to be into it as well. It's a cool time. But I hate that I have to defend my gamer cred for whatever reason, just because it's not really my idea of a great time anymore to stand in a 15-minute line, or it's actually like a 2-hour line, to be fair, to play a game that's going to come out to a consensus of 6 out of 10s in 3 months, you know? That's not necessarily a fair assessment, but it's the way that I'm going to choose to look at it for now, because it makes my point seem that much stronger. Just because I don't go, oh my god, whenever I see, like, somebody in Jim Raynor cosplay. All of a sudden, you know, my gamer cred's under suspicion. Wrong again. But might as well try, right? Let's see what we got here. Temperance, I don't care about too much. The Chariot, I don't care about too much. Let's get out of here. I love video games, but I love particularly, and this is what I'm learning, I love to play them in my underwear between the hours of like 9 and 1 a.m. Living a whole video game related weekend has lost a little bit of luster for me. Now, let me say, because it sounds ungrateful to some extent, my favorite part of going to PAX, it used to be, you know, the first couple of years of going to PAX, my favorite part of going to PAX is finally I'm being taken seriously as a voice in the industry. People are talking to me about their game announcements. When they see me on the show floor, they're going, you gotta check this stuff out. That's cool. You know, it's cool to feel included. And then after that, it was like, I get to see my friends, and, you know, we don't see each other very much, so it's a good time. And don't get me wrong, that's cool too. For the past, like, 2 or 3 PAXs, the big thing has been, like, it's a great opportunity, at least at PAX West, for people that live in the PNW. If they come to PAX West, they go, hey, I like your content. And I go, hey, thank you. And then we take a picture, and they say some nice words, and I'm flattered, and then I say thank you so much, and then, you know, we go on with our lives. It's a good opportunity. You know, it feels good for me. Not on an ego level of like, look at how many people like me, but, you know, it feels good to give back, because mostly, you know, I'm just a taker. So to be there in the flesh instead of just faving a tweet that says like, hey, I liked your video, it's really nice. Why not, dude? Yeah, I mean, why, but also why not? So, you know, that aspect has definitely not gotten old. That's not what I'm trying to say. That's gaslight. The aspect, I don't know. I just like, dude, I love being at home. I realize I crossed a threshold. I'm not, out of respect for people who disagree with me, I'm not going to say it crossed a threshold of maturity. I've changed, let's put it that way. When I realized that given the choice, would I rather stay up for one extra, if you know, I get the chance to, let's just say a mythical time fairy came down and was like, you could get 1 extra hour of wakefulness a night without losing any sleep, or you could get 1 extra hour of sleep without losing any wakefulness. I would take the extra hour of sleep, like 10 times out of 10. And no lie, I've lived the life. You know, I don't even want to bring it up, the number of all-nighters I've done in my life, in my late teens and early 20s. Now, I'm just like in a position where I'm like, if I'm getting enough sleep, don't get me wrong. But if a mythical time demon or genie came down and was like, hey, you get 1 extra free hour of wakefulness a night, like we'll stop time between 10 and 11 p.m. and then you can go to bed at 11. No consequence. Or if you go to sleep now, while you're asleep, we'll roll the clocks back an hour and you'll wake up at the normal time. You know, I'm not saying roll it back for society, like do daylight savings every day, but I would take the extra hour of sleep 10 times out of 10 now. I don't know. Malf and I, we disagree on this, I'm sure. Because Malf is a notoriously... He doesn't have problems sleeping, but he sleeps very little. And he never talks about it, I think, or he talks about it very rarely. But my man... We're not guppy, right? We need one more? That's going to be like the victory for us, for sure. My man sleeps probably like 5 hours a night on average. It's not a contest, by the way. If you sleep 45 minutes a night on average, good for you. You know? I mean, I think that's terrible. And I don't understand why you're bragging about your misery. But simultaneously, like, you win at, you know, having way too much stuff on your plate, I guess, and not managing your time effectively to take care of your own health. Congratulations. Maybe a little mean-spirited, but, you know, we were talking about it. I was like, man, I love sleep. And Malf's like, he's got the opposite perspective. You know, he takes the position, like, when he wakes up, sometimes he's a little groggy. But, you know, after he steps in the shower, he wakes up and he feels good that he has so much extra time to... Not just like... It's not like he wakes up and then he's like a work terminator, you know? Like, I can only get 4 hours of sleep a night so I can accomplish so much. It's so that he has a taller glass of that drink that we all call life, you know? And I don't begrudge him that at all. But I'm learning to love sleep. I disrespected it for a long time. And I think part of it is I'm realizing, like, when I was previously aware of fitness advice, I was like 16, 17 years old. It was back in the mid-2000s. Nobody was talking about sleep. You know, it's not like the science was in its infancy, but very few people were talking about sleep. Mind you, I was 17 years old. I wasn't really privy to many conversations with doctors and stuff like that, but, you know, the wisdom was like... It's still like a lot of isolation work. You do 3 sets of 10. Compound movements were popular, but, you know, still most people were like, I just do 500 curls a day. And people were like, you know, you should definitely, like, have a nice dose of protein and carbs after your workout. When it came to sleep, people were like, it doesn't matter as long as you get to the gym. And now, it was a shock to me to start, you know, following... I don't follow much of it because, well, it's like option paralysis again, right? But now people are like, you know, most important thing, your diet. Second most important thing, you know, your workout. After that, make sure you're getting like 9 hours of sleep a night. And then when I saw that, I was like, 9 hours of sleep a night? Must be nice to be a streamer. See, I'm turning it back on myself. I get like 7.5 hours of sleep a night right now, and that's fine for me. I like it. I could probably go to bed a little bit earlier, but then I wouldn't be able to play one more game of Tetris 99. Oh my god, I'm my own worst enemy, dude. To be fair, Explosivo would not have helped us, like, at all. Must be nice to not have kids. I wish the government didn't come to my house and force me to have children. Then I'd have time to do all these things. Sorry. Must have missed the draft. The conscription for kindergarten. Get me out of here. We're on, okay, this is an orbital fight. We're going very quickly, and that's cool news, dude. However, we're not totally out of the woods. Even with 9 lives, I think we have the kind of setup where 9 lives is fine. I mean, it's better than fine. Let's not. That was just mindless banter that I ended up disagreeing with 2 seconds later. But it doesn't protect us from the ill effects potentially of having something like Dr. Fetus. You know, we much prefer to invest in a single life with a lot of HP on a run like this right now, which is thankfully where we're at. So I'll just pay for that because I want it, and then that has not been working out too well. What do you got for me here? I would like the damage from 8-inch nails, but I don't really want to do boss rush. That's pretty much where I'm at. I don't know. I don't have any other anecdotes about what I was discussing. I will say, you know, for any of you, you know, maybe you're approaching an age milestone. People think I'm obsessed with the fact that I'm old. It's not really that. I'm stoked. You know, it's very early in my 30s. I guess I'm like 30 and a third, basically, if you want to put it in the cheekiest, most needlessly complex way possible. And it's been a good 4 months. I feel like a better version of myself from when I was 29, which I think that's all you could ever ask for as you get older. But I remember, I always think about, I had a friend in university who, on his birthday, he was like, "Wow, dude, this is it, like the end of our youth." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Well, I just turned 20, dude." Which is hilarious looking. I mean, at the time, I was like, "You are insane. You're 20 years old. You've been an adult for like 2 calendar years, but you're not even really an adult until you're like 22 these days, you know? It wasn't like you're 20 years old and you're like, I'm gonna start my own law firm, you know? It's not the 1800s, you know? You're 20. Go to, you know, your intermediate level physics class. Stop being weird about it. I'm just here to say, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. Cracked crown. Dude, huge statistical improvement here. It's a great run. I'm really glad I took Dr. Fetus because, I mean, we've ended up squandering a lot of our item rooms. But to be fair, if you go back and do an audit on the item rooms that have not worked out for us as a result of Swallowed Penny, or Dad's Crooked Penny, I should say, I don't think we've lost much of value. You know, we might have missed out on Spun, but I don't think we did. So I think pretty much we missed out on a speed upgrade. Like Explosivo wouldn't have done jack for us. Okay, we missed out on Mom's Razor, which is essentially useless. Not worth much, let's say. Some tier effects like Explosivo that wouldn't even do anything, I believe, when you have Dr. Fetus. Like, I think we're pretty much, I'm not going to say absolved of all negativity here, but... And I actually think we've been playing relatively well. It's kind of a nihilistic approach, but, you know, the items we've lost won't mean much, but some of the items that would normally be amazing to gain won't mean that much either. Like, if we get Guppy, you know, of course I would love to, but what does it mean for us? Very little. You know, it's not going to crank our damage up to incredible levels, just because we don't output, like, a strong stream of continuous damage. It's just like, you know, every once in a while there's an explosion, and even our damage stat itself is not that spectacular. Anyway. Cool. I also have to say, dude, I'm stoked. I know, here's the thing. You know, I'm taking this one on the chin. A lot of people are displeased with the Subnautica playthrough, myself included. I could have handled some things differently in the game. I also feel like it's a game that ended up, and there's no way to have known this, I think, without having played it, but it ended up not being a really good fit for me. Sometimes I get frustrated. That makes people who wanted to see the game frustrated, because they're like, I love this game, and also I thought you would be more entertaining than this, and I'm like, well, I thought the game would be better than this, and rabble, 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 right? But I'm stoked, you know, there have been times where I'm like, you know, I just want to quit the game, but I don't want to be that guy. You know, I've been that guy in the past where when things are frustrating, I'm like, I'm out. For a couple of years, we've been doubling down on this. You know, we start something within reason. We're gonna make an effort to finish it. We've bowed out of a couple of things. Like I stopped playing BioShock on PC just because the remastered edition was broken for me. If it wasn't broken for you, you know, all good. We spent an hour on the Steam forums. Oh, it's the one that spits it out. You know, troubleshooting it. Yes, you could just buy it again for, you know, Xbox, PS4, whatever. But, you know, at that point, kind of the well had been soured. But apart from that, and most people don't even remember that, you know, we've been finishing what we've started, which is nice, honestly. Probably shouldn't have blown you two up. That's fine. But I will say, I'm looking forward to it. We should finish Subnautica this Sunday, and I'm also, it's taken us a long time. Please do not get me twisted on this one. I love Earth Defense Force 5. The game is so long. It is so long. There's 110 or 111 missions. Kate and I have been streaming 2 to 3 hours of it every Thursday since like December, and we're on mission 107. I'm stoked. We're gonna finish that this week too, and I'm recording this after the Thursday stream where we almost finished it but didn't quite get there. It's another opportunity for some new content injections. It's always exciting. You know, I'm not poo-pooing Subnautica. The number one, and I've talked about frustrations of, you know, chat being a streamer. For the most part, you understand, I hope, my position that, you know, anything, you know, if chat is critical of you, you should also be aware of the fact that they're watching your stream in the first place, which means they're probably a fan of your content, and all they want to do is be more entertained. And that's fine, you know, within reason. The one criticism that I have that's legit, and it does get to me sometimes, is I just cannot abide conversations about, like, the politics of what game we're playing. And I don't mean, like, the personal beliefs of the developers, but I mean, like, you know, essay-length questions. Why did he play this instead of this? I think, personally, with Northernlion's unique brand of humor, he would have much preferred this. Why didn't he engage in a collegiate-level analysis of the... Given the spreadsheet of survival games and his enjoyment of them in the past, I'm surprised, you know, you get the idea. You know, sometimes we play new stuff and it works out amazingly. Fallout New Vegas. Sometimes we play new stuff. It's not really my cup of tea, despite being a well-loved game that I'm not disrespecting, or at least trying to disrespect in Subnautica. The only way you can get those good, happy accidents is by exposing yourself to the risk of the bad accidents. Everybody's got opinions about how to, you know, run your content mill. If you, you know, you want to take a shot, please make your own channel. If you think that I'm running it in an incorrect fashion, by all means. I appreciate the feedback, and I mean that sincerely, not just as lip service. But all I'm saying is it's not exclusively... I think we actually just want this. And then if we can get this for free, sure. But I don't want to pay for it because we're never going to charge it up thanks to our bombs. You know what? We might as well. Do we get another damage bonus? Yo, let's go. I will be happy to see Subnautica end for a couple of reasons. One is it has dragged a little bit towards the end. Another one is a lot of the conversation in chat is not about the game anymore or about the stream. It's more about, like, when will this be over? And that's always a sign that things have kind of gone off the rails. And then another part of it is that I can play something new, and that's going to be exciting. But the fulfilling of the solemn vow is also important to me. Believe you me, it has not missed my irony circuits that about a month ago, I pitched the idea of doing more content on YouTube, and the thing that people were most mad about for certain was like, well, we don't want to see you start to play games and then not finish them. And then 2 weeks after that, people were like, we love the new content on YouTube. It's a golden age, but can you please stop playing Subnautica? Not everybody, you know, it's a diverse audience with diverse opinions, but I'm like, no, you know, we're gonna finish it. Cause you know why? It's not just because we started it. It's because we got, you know, 85% of the way through the game. I wouldn't feel right about just being like, we're done. So close to the end, I'm bouncing. But anyway, so like to have something new to play on Sundays and Thursdays. Oh, dude, that's gonna be a dream come true. What am I gonna play? I don't know yet, but I'll tell you, I've learned a valuable lesson to think twice and really investigate the length of the games I'm gonna play. It's not that I think playing long games is a no-no, but, you know, for psychologically speaking, essentially, is where I'm coming at this from. I have to remember, you know, with the way that my Sunday streams go, sure, why not? You know what? Let's let Ed decide. All right? You know, if a game is 30 hours long, that's 2.5 months at 3 hours a week. I love the 3-hour format of the Sunday streams. I think it, you know, I stay, because it's not about completing the game. I think sometimes people, they get your objective confused. It's about being entertaining. You know, 3 hours is a real sweet spot for me that I'm used to when it comes to, you know, playing through a game at a semi-reasonable clip while also continuing to be, you know, energized and entertaining and, you know, not super hungry throughout, and, you know, it leaves me the space to make good content, I think. But you gotta remember, the game's gonna be 30 hours, you know, it's gonna be a tougher sell in the future just because of the fact that I gotta think this. I only get to play, if it's gonna be 2.5 months, I get to play 4 to 5 games a year on the Sunday show. That's low. So I'm definitely leaning towards, stuff that's a little shorter in the future, just to make sure that I don't lose my mind. Because it's been so nice. The last 5 or 10 minutes, I should say, shouldn't strike you as complaining. It should strike you as a positive thing. The variety that I've been doing on YouTube lately has become more infectious. You know, it's like there's a load off my shoulders to feel open to playing more and more stuff. With no disrespect meant to Isaac, of course. A game that I'm playing right now, and I'm energized again by the fact that we're actually doing half decently in it. Maybe quarter decently, but I'll take it. But, you know, it has been, you know, mentally very positive, I think. For me and hopefully for the audience as well, to be playing a bunch of new stuff. So it's just that, but, you know, one additional element is like, oh. I mean, it's always nice, you know, probably like the most beloved Sunday game of all time is Fallout New Vegas. There's a lot of them up there. Some people like Heavy Rain or Detroit the most. Some people like Fallout New Vegas. There's even some people out there who like Bully the most. There's some people out there who long for the return of Counter-Strike Global Offensive with subscribers, you know? There's some people out there who are like, hey, remember when you used to play Dota 2 custom games on Sundays? Any chance that'll ever return? So what happens, you know, you're dealing with a diverse audience of people, they all got their preferences. You know? You can't please everyone all the time. That's just the nature of the business. And that's not a negative thing. You know, it's a privilege to have cultured and maintained an audience of people who like to watch a variety of content instead of, you know... a lot of streamers, honestly, have the opposite problem. I mean, let's try to duplicate Halo flies. Fair enough. Can we even get 6 flies? No, we can't. Or 4 flies, I guess. A lot of streamers have, like, the opposite problem. You know? It's a privilege that when I play Isaac, a lot of people are like, Isaac, Resident Sleeper. Is there a lot of other streamers, you know, if they're not playing League, people who are otherwise fans of them will pop into their chats and say just demoralizing stuff. Not League? I leave. All right. I thought we were... I mean, you're not beholden to watch anybody's content just because you watched some of their content once. I'm just saying it's kind of a rude thing to say to somebody who's trying to produce an entertainment product. Anyway, that being said, you know, I'm like the opposite. I mean, I do that to Austin sometimes, to be fair. Most of the time I don't say it. But, you know, if I go to somebody's stream, it's just preference. It's not meant as an insult, okay? If I go to somebody's stream and they're playing auto chess, I'm probably going to watch somebody else's stream. Even if I enjoy the streamer a great deal. Now, I feel like people say that to me all the time. The reason I don't get that offended about it is because I never have 4 streams a week where I play the same games 8 hours a day. So there's a slight difference, I guess, in level of personal attack there. It's the same, like, you know... I'm not trying to call out my friends. I think I'm approaching this in a way that it's relatable. Like, there's games you like watching people play, games you don't like watching people play, and some stuff you just don't like watching at all. Like, I've watched a lot of Dan's Tarkov stuff. After playing Tarkov, I understand it a lot more. It's still not really my cup of tea. I'll watch Dan play Dark Souls or, you know, interview randoms in a battle royale 100% of the time. But... you know, I've seen him play enough Tarkov that I know it's just, you know, it's not for me. And I think that's true for me as well, I'm sure. I mean, I can see my own view count. If something's not hidden boxes for a lot of people, you can see a reflection in that, even in the short term. So don't tell me I'm the aggressor in this situation. But it's nice to be a variety channel, which is why... we're gonna do it, huh? Which is why I'm excited for some of these long-running games to get closer to the end so I can play more. But there's not... I know I said there's nothing more annoying than talking about docket politics, and here we are talking about docket politics. It's just like, you know, to give you a taste of my shoes. You know, it's 3 hours before the show starts, you're having a conversation with, like... 2 to 6 people, and you're like, hey, what do you want to play today? And one of them is like, oh, here's a brand new $70 game that nobody but me owns. And then one of them is like, I don't care what we play, I just want it to be this, something we played 20 times before in the past. And then somebody is like, I saw another streamer play this and I think it'd be fun, but it's not out on Steam yet, it's only out on the Epic launcher. And you know, like, there's a lot of, and some of those people are me, by the way. That's not just me insulting or calling out my friends and colleagues. You know, so we got a lot of people with a lot of different interests, and we finally come up with something, we give it to chat, and then there's like 100 people that go like, you know, D+ docket. I'm like, Jesus. We're trying, okay? You're judging the Breaking Bad episode by the title, dude. Let us work with it. Nobody remembers what game we were playing when we had the freaking sandwich discussion, okay? People remember which game we were playing when we had the do you eat fish and chips with your hands discussion, but that's just because it's the iconic London 2012 segment with the archery. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, Subnautica's cool, dude. I've taken a much more well-reasoned approach to criticizing things I may not necessarily like when a lot of other people like them. Used to be a little bit more immature about it. Now I'm like, hey, 98% of like 15,000 user reviews on Subnautica are positive. For whatever reason, hasn't hit me that way, but you know, I feel definitely confident in saying it's not a situation where I'm the only smart person, everybody else is dumb. It's definitely more a situation where I'm like, what's wrong with me that I didn't enjoy this as much as so many other people did? For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. I hope you're enjoying the Subnautica series as well. You know, it's not like I'm just doing it out of a derelict sense of duty. You know, there's people who have enjoyed it. But apart from that, thanks for your support. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. And if you didn't, I'll be back tomorrow with another D+ docket. See you then. See ya!